some green on maybe. But what I have is I have a little slideshow that we'll go through. We'll talk about the history of St. Patrick's Day, and then we'll also look at some of the fun things that some people do, and then maybe we'll do some dancing at the end of everything to some nice Irish style music. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and switch my shared screen. I want to make sure I have computer sound. All right. So I will switch this up. I got to get my people out of the way. All right. So today is St. Patrick's Day. It is March 17th. Of course, we've got all of our lovely greens showing with our three-leaf clover. And of course, it being March 17th. So we'll go ahead and move on to our next slide and get into the history of St. Patrick's Day. Because you know, I always love the history that comes behind these. All right. So St. Patrick, he is that gentleman with the long white beard, as we can see. St. Patrick, who lived during the 5th century. So the 5th century, we're talking the 400s, okay? So we're talking roughly 1,500 years ago, this gentleman lived. He is the patron saint of Ireland and its national apostle. Born in Roman Britain, he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave at the age of 16. He later escaped, though, but returned to Ireland and was credited with bringing Christianity to its people. In the centuries following St. Patrick's death, which they believe that he died on March 17th, this is why they are remembering him on this particular date, but you can see the year that he had passed was 461. That is quite a long time ago. Now, the mythology, I'm sorry about that, the mythology surrounding his life became ever more ingrained in the Irish culture. Perhaps the most well-known legend of St. Patrick is that he explained the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, using the 3 leaves of a native Irish clover, the shamrock. And you can see that in that picture right there. And of course, we now know that 3-leaf clovers are actually really rare. They are out there, you can find them, but you will find the more common form of a 4-leaf clover the majority of the time. But if you ever find a 3-leaf clover, that is supposed to signify good luck. So if you ever find one, make sure you hang on to it. Then you're probably wondering what's happening in this picture that we have located right underneath our St. Patrick. Well, it was said that St. Patrick drove all of the snakes out of Ireland because Ireland is not known to have really any snake species. I'm pretty sure they probably have a couple around there, but it is said that he drove them out. That is one of those things that we're not quite sure if it's true, but it is a fun little story to tell. Then, of course, we're going to be talking about green. And why do we wear green on St. Patrick's Day? Well, they say the reason why people wear green on St. Patrick's Day is because it acts as a form of camouflage so a leprechaun can't see you. Leprechauns are mischievous creatures and like to pinch humans on St. Patrick's Day. So don't be like Homer in this. As we can see, oh, I gotta move that a little. As we can see, he's not wearing any green. So that is why our leprechaun is coming after him to pinch him, but he wasn't able to see our gentleman who is dressed in green and was able to blend in. And he says, ha ha, you can't see me. So that's a really cool thing. So if you're wearing green, and let me look at the picture of everyone, see one wearing green. Joey, I hope you're wearing some kind of green. I see white shirt. Better watch out. We don't want those leprechauns coming and pinching you. But it's a nice little form to keep you safe. So I know Mr. Miles and myself, we should be pretty well blended in. We're not going to be a Homer in this case. All right, now with that, some cool things you can do on St. Patrick's Day. I'm just going to run through the list and explain our little pictures along the way. You can make a St. Patrick's Day craft. Okay, and then that you can You can see up here, we have little 4-leaf clovers that were cut out, something that you can simply do using the, the green, different shades of green along with that. The second one, sadly, attend the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Well, they had a few last year, but due to our code restrictions, they are still not going to be they're not performing those in, I guess, some of the larger cities like they normally do. So that one you may have to save for next year. Now, this next one, drink green drinks, well, you can do that right now. If you were to go over to McDonald's, you can get the classic Shamrock Shake, which I know is one of my favorites. I always enjoy it, but it only comes around during the late February, then the month of March time. So it's like a nice little rarity. But you can also add food coloring to any of your drinks to make them green as well. And if you go to most restaurants, I know they take a certain type of adult beverage and like to color those green as well. And then we have our next one, build a leprechaun trap. That'll be explained more in our next slide. Make some St. Patty Day inspired treats, which we have some lovely Oreos. They took, looks like white chocolate and dipped that in, put some green sprinkles on it, but then they also took some green frosting and put sprinkles on it. Well, it's basically taking normal treats and adding that little St. Patty's Day touch with green, or making it look like a 4-leaf clover or 3-leaf clover or anything like that. Then there was play St. Patrick's Day themed games, which easily you can do a Shamrock themed bingo game. You can enjoy a hearty Irish dinner. Now over here, it looks like we have cabbage and corned beef. That's a big dish for that certain culture. Then of course, learn about St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, which we're doing right now. And then read any different types of Irish stories, which we have an example of that by, was it R.F. Foster, and it's called The Irish Story. We won't be reading that today, though. Now, to talk a little bit more about building that leprechaun trap, it says, how do you catch a leprechaun? Well, you can paint rocks gold and then put them in a container. In this example, my daughter, Jenna, that's her, and wearing her PJs, we did this last night. She used a stick to prop up the lid. And then when the leprechaun goes to get the fake gold out of the inside, you can kind of see it in this picture, get the little fake gold. He would then knock the stick over, which would cause the lid to close, therefore trapping the leprechaun inside. Okay, now these traps only work on St. Patrick's Day, so it's not too late to make your own. So if you have time today, if you can find rocks, or you have any like fake gold or anything like that, you can put them in containers and then set it up. As my daughter explained to me last night, she made sure she put this metal chair here so he would be able to get a boost from that to get into there. Now, we checked it this morning and there was not one in there. Maybe there'll be one when we get home today. We'll have to see. Then, of course, there's this little funny picture of when Homer Simpson trapped his leprechaun. He used a different method, though. Now, I'm throwing this one out to everyone. What are some things you do on St. Patrick's Day? Now, you can feel free. You can go ahead and take yourself off mute if you'd rather share, or you can make a comment. Now, this is opened up for both staff, students, and parents of students as well, if you're in there. Does anyone have any traditions or just different things that you do on St. Patrick's Day? I know there's one that my wife and I usually do. We usually go to a restaurant and we'll have, I guess, an adult style green beverage in remembrance of St. Patrick's Day. But do we have anyone else out there? All right. Awkward silence. Well,
Mr. Sam,
what was that, Mr. Eric?
I was just gonna say my wife's family, their last name is Shaughnessy, was from Ireland, was formerly O'Shaughnessy's, but they take this day very seriously. They like to get together, have a good time, but one of my wife's aunts likes to make a traditional Irish meal, I guess Irish American meal if you look up the history, but they like to make the corned beef sandwiches, and they have some of the other fixings, but the corned beef is the main one. And there might be some other Irish things there too. That's a kind of a, not really my family, but my wife's family's tradition. They like to get together and celebrate.
All right. Excellent. That sounds awesome. Last chance. Anyone else have anything else to add? I see I got a message from. Oh, I'll have to check that out.
I also like to send my kids out in the lawn to search all day for 4-leaf clovers. Keeps them busy.
Ooh, I think it's a great sunny day to look for 3-leaf clovers, I think.
Mr. Sam, I saw on the news this morning where in Ireland they can't celebrate like they always do because of COVID. So they had a celebration with drones and they did lights. And I sent you that video. I texted it to you on your phone. It's really a cool video if somebody can check it out.
You know, if I may throw that on at the very end, if we have enough time. I'm looking at it right now. Ooh, it's a short video too. Excellent. So at the end of this, we'll go ahead and slide that on, because that looks really cool. Thank you. All right, so I'll go ahead and pick up the pace then. We had some great stuff shared. So we'll go ahead and slide to our next one. Oops, I gotta move everyone out of the way. There we go. Now it says, let's get this party started with some famous Irish music. So before we dive into that Irish music, we do have that really cool video that Tasha was able to share with us. I do have some rare footage of some of our lovely transition staff celebrating their St. Patrick's Day. Of course, this was done earlier this morning, so I do apologize if there's any editing issues that goes along with it. And let's see if they're gonna let me go. Mm-hmm. Be fine. Oh, cute little hamster. Oh, yes. We'll start off with our first one. Excellent. That was just myself having a little bit of fun this morning as well, but I was able to catch some other footage of some other.
Really love that, Mr. Sam.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
24 karat gold from Mr. Sam O. Avis.
Mm-hmm. Sam O. Avis. Yep. And of course, I got this one of you, Mr. Eric, with Mr. Terrence and Mr. Charles. You guys thought I wasn't recording your rock session, but we were able to get one of these shows in. Yes, now that was our gentleman having a bit of fun, but let's not leave our lovely transition ladies out either. So they were able to put together one little dance number as well. So we'll take a nice little peek at this one. Very, very well organized. Oops. All right. As you can see, we have Ms. Ash, Ms. Connie, Mr. Charles, our lead man for this one. Oh, Mr. Miles slipped his way in here. And of course, we all recognize this lovely lady as Ms. Linnell. So we'll go ahead and see what kind of dance routine they have for us. absolutely wonderful. And of course, they had the lovely Irish style music playing in the background as well. Now, with all that being said, I'll leave that one up, but we will pull up, let me see. I'm going to type in the exact title of what Ms. Kasha was able to share with us. Oh, I got to get that U out of there. Irish drone show 2021. There, excellent. This is what Ms. Kasha was telling us about, and this is in Dublin, Ireland. So this is like in the heart of Ireland, where they celebrate this every year. It's a real big deal. And we'll check out what they did. Now, drones are those little helicopter flying contraptions that go on. Uh-oh, I think it's freezing up. There we go. Wow, all I can say is absolutely wow. Thank you, Ms. Kasha, for sharing that. That was super cool. And those were all drones driving separately. That's just wow. That is awesome. Thank you. Totally cool. Now, we'll move on. We'll do a couple songs because I know we're getting closer to the 12 o'clock time. So this one was a little bit tricky. We were digging around looking for some different famous Irish songs because there are a lot of different Irish style. I'm sorry, getting tongue tied out there, but we wanted to make one that was relevant to everyone that had, I guess, that was a little bit more well known for Americans. And actually, one of the top ones that came up was, I'll slide this back a little bit. It is called "I'm Shipping Up to Boston" by the Dropkick Murphys. So we did a little investigating on how this was an Irish tale. Well, the Dropkick Murphys do have some Irish heritage. That's the name of the band. I know it's a funny name, Dropkick Murphys. I don't think a single one of them is named Murphy either. But they were able to get these lyrics from an old Irishman by the last name of Guthrie. Now, Guthrie's daughter, after he passed, wanted him to be remembered for the lyrics and music that he wrote. So she went out looking for an Irish style rock band to sing these lyrics. Now the lyrics, there's not many of them, but they talk about a sailor had lost his peg leg. Now the history behind it is still lost because Guthrie never shared the story of it to everyone before he passed. But thinking about the Irish culture, especially in America, well, a lot of them during 16, 1700s, 1800s were coming over across the Atlantic Ocean to come to America, and of course coming into the New York, Boston area. So this could be about an Irish sailor coming to America who had lost their peg leg. But we'll go ahead and play a little bit. I know you'll probably recognize this. It's been in a lot of different movies, but I know this first part is very catchy. So if you feel like dancing with this, go right on ahead. It's a pretty nice song to dance to.
Okay.
Now, of course, shipping up to Boston, apparently he's looking for his wooden leg as he climbed up the mast of the boat that was taking him over to America. So, of course, I would be a little if I had lost my leg, but I don't know if I'd write a song about it. But that's a pretty famous one as well. And then, well, I guess I should open this up to everybody. Is there anyone who has an Irish themed song that they would like to share or like to hear? If not, I'm just going to play another one. All right then. Another famous one is the song Danny Boy. The pipes are calling. Now, for our sake, it's a very slow style song, but Mr. Miles,
Nope.
Not this
Nope.
one? No, not
Nope.
that one? Okay, I'll go back.
Some of these Irish songs don't tend to be appropriate.
Yeah, I know. They do a lot of other adult stuff. Let's go. Well, Danny Boy is one of ours. So you said the remix one was not that great?
That top one.
The top one? Oh. We'll do a little clip of this one. It's like so calming. Oops. Of course, you're able to see the history on it.
The pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses fall. It's you must go and I must buy. And take ye with my memory smiling, untrodden earth, I'll tarry by your side. And though you leave behind a silver lining, it's you must go and I must buy.
Go ahead and we'll go ahead and pause that. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not able to do it from here because my screen's blocking me. Of course, this is about Danny, who had served in World War I and had sadly passed away. Now we can see here those who honored on these panels gave their lives in 2 world wars and are buried elsewhere in Ireland. So Danny had an Irish heritage, and then of course his father had written this song about him. And of course he was an Irish American when he had passed, because that was during that time. So, and I know that one's a little bit slower, and I'm trying not to put everyone to sleep at 12 o'clock this afternoon. All right, so with all of that, that is going to wrap up our St. Patrick's Day extravaganza, unless there's any requests out there for anyone who is wanting to hear one more awesome Irish song. Going once, twice, 3 times. All right. Well, then, thank you all for coming. I see you, Joe Stuff. I see you. We got Kylie, we got Molly, and of course, our awesome transition staff. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Wear that green.
Hi, Julia.
Have a lovely day. Bye. And I have to figure out how to stop. Wait. Do I?
Must go and I must
I'm not sharing anymore. There we go. All right. Bye.
Oh, someone's still here. I think they are. This was Ashley. Are you guys still live? Because you're still live. Miss Denise, are you still live?
Nope, we're done, Deb.
Okay.
I'm ending it now.